Vietnam, a soft S-shaped strip of land on the East Sea coast, not only captivates people with its beautiful natural scenery, but also with the depth of culture and the simple beauty of its people. Over thousands of years of history, Vietnamese culture has been constantly enriched from tradition to modernity, quietly but strongly, like the Vietnamese people themselves, resilient, kind and full of courage. Vietnamese people love tradition, love family, and especially love the dinner table. In every dish, every greeting, every teaching of respecting elders and yielding to juniors, people can feel the invisible thread connecting generations. On Tet holiday, the whole family gathers around a pot of Bon Chung on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. Incense is lit for grandparents. In the middle of autumn, children carry lanterns and laugh loudly in the full moon festival. These moments are not only beautiful, but also sacred. In labor, Vietnamese people are diligent and creative. In hardship, they are patient and optimistic. That is why, through the ups and downs of history, Vietnam still rises strongly, like a lotus rising from the mud but still spreading its fragrance. Vietnamese culture is the crystallization of many currents, from folk beliefs, Eastern philosophy to the influence of world civilizations. But the strange thing is, despite the changes of the times, Vietnamese identity remains intact. That is when you hear the bustling drumbeats in the spring festival, see the graceful ao dai fluttering in the early morning sun, or simply the aroma of a pot of sour soup your mother cooks in the kitchen on a rural afternoon. Vietnamese people love tradition, love family, and especially love the dinner table. In every dish, every greeting, every teaching of respecting elders and yielding to juniors, people can feel the invisible thread connecting generations. On Tet holiday, the whole family gathers around a pot of Bon Chung on the 15th day of the 7th lunar month. They light incense sticks for their ancestors. In the middle of autumn, children carrying lanterns laughing loudly in the full moon festival. Those moments are not only beautiful, but also sacred. Vietnam today is transforming into a modern, youthful and dynamic country, but in every street corner, every folk song, every ripe rice field, there are still old but beautiful things: a deep national spirit, a gentle soul, and an always open heart of hospitality. Coming to Vietnam, you cannot miss Quang Ninh province. Quang Ninh is like a charming landscape painting, where mountains meet the sea, creating a spectacular and unique landscape. With a coastline of more than 250 kilometers, thousands of large and small islands, a diverse ecosystem from limestone mountains, caves to mangrove forests and clear blue beaches, this place possesses valuable natural resources, enough to captivate anyone who visits once. The center of Quang Ninh, Ha Long Bay, is a vivid symbol of the legendary beauty of Vietnamese nature. Thousands of islands with strange shapes appear in the middle of the emerald water, hiding within them sparkling stalactite caves and epic folk legends. Not only is it a World Heritage recognized by UNESCO twice, Ha Long is also an ideal destination for resort tourism, exploration and cultural experiences. Vietnam is likened to a magnificent picture woven from golden forests, silver seas with 1,000-year culture. Then Ha Long is a sparkling gem in that picture, a masterpiece of nature carved by the hands of nature over millions of years. Ha Long Bay, a World Natural Heritage recognized by UNESCO, is not only famous for its thousands of majestic limestone islands stretching out in the middle of the blue water. There are lands that not only exist on the map, but also lie deep in the dreams of those who love to explore. There are places that do not need to try to show off, but still captivate people with just one look. Ha Long is such a land, where beauty not only exists in every wave, every rock, but is also imbued with every legend, every breath of the sea and sky of the Northeast. Looking down from above, Ha Long Bay is like a vivid ink painting, where thousands of large and small islands undulate in the clear turquoise water. Those majestic limestone ranges have existed for hundreds of millions of years, going through many geological changes, weathering and time to create a wonder that the world must bow down in admiration. It is as if the hand of creation has drawn here a giant stone maze, both mysterious and sacred, evoking an overwhelming feeling that is difficult to describe in words. Ha Long is not only a place name, but also a fairy tale told through images and sounds. Legend has it that when the country was invaded, the mother dragon descended to this sea, spitting out precious gems that formed thousands of stone islands to stop the enemy. After the victory, the mother dragon did not return to heaven but stayed here to protect the people. Perhaps that is why Ha Long, meaning descending dragon, carries within itself a sacred spirit and a magical beauty that cannot be found anywhere else. The beauty of Ha Long lies not only in the scale and shape of the islands, but also in the shimmering caves hidden behind each cliff. Thien Kung Cave, with stalactites of various shapes like a magnificent palace in legend. Sung Sot Cave, where every step takes people from one surprise to another by the surreal beauty of nature. Dogo Cave, where the heroic historical vestiges of the nation from the Tran dynasty are preserved. Each cave is a story, a separate world that makes visitors curious to explore. However, just looking at Ha Long through the lens of nature is not enough. This place is also the cradle of a vibrant culture, where people know how to blend in with nature and preserve eternal values. Floating fishing villages such as Kua Van and Vung Vieng are not only places of residence but also living heritage, where the language, customs and lifestyle of the coastal people are preserved through each generation. In the quiet setting of the calm water, between the floating roofs and the gentle sound of oars on the bay, visitors will feel a very genuine part of Ha Long, where beauty is not only to be seen, but also to feel, to understand and to love. Every moment in Ha Long is a slice of time frozen. In the early morning, the sun rises from behind the rocky islands, spreading gold on the water like a jade mirror. At noon, a gentle breeze blows through the sails, bringing the salty smell of the sea into every breath. In the afternoon, the sunset falls on the cliffs, creating a brilliant symphony of light. And at night, the whole bay seems to be immersed in a deep sleep, with only the sound of the waves whispering fairy tales to dreamy souls. Ha Long is not simply a destination. It is a journey. It is an emotion. It is a memory. It is a place where everyone who comes here brings back a piece of heaven in their heart. And whether it is a first-time visitor or a visitor who has been there many times, Ha Long still has a strange attraction, like the first time. Like never having known each other. Like a gentle love song ringing in the heart of the bay. Ha Long appears like a vivid ink painting, where nature seems to have devoted all its love to creating. In the heart of the bay, large and small islands rise up like giant rough gems. Some islands are shaped like dragons, elephants, and some islands look like a pair of roosters and hens whispering in the ocean. Among them, Hun Trong Mai is a symbolic image, associated with a story of faithful love and has become an indispensable part of the soul of Ha Long. Simple but full of expression, the two rocks standing tall between the sea and sky seem to remind visitors of a lasting love that transcends time. Not only does Ha Long have a charming landscape above the water, it also hides majestic wonders under the Rocky Mountains. Thien Kung Cave, known as the underground palace, welcomes visitors with shimmering, magical stalactites, softly curving like a dance of fairies amidst colorful lights. Each step in the cave seems to take us into a real-life fairy tale world. Nearby is Sung Sot Cave, where visitors are truly amazed, not only because of its brilliant beauty, but also because the cave space opens up so wide that it seems like they are standing in the middle of a majestic natural stage, where light and rocks combine to tell stories of thousands of years. As the sunlight gradually softened, the journey of discovery took me to a more peaceful space, Kua Van Fishing Village. There were no massive constructions, no noise of the city, only the sound of oars and the warm smiles of the coastal people. Small floating houses, rustic boats and a life closely connected to the waves created a unique identity for the bay. Here, the beauty does not come from the grandeur but from the simplicity, something that makes people remember forever even after just one visit. If you want to admire the entire beauty of Ha Long from above, Tai Top Island is the ideal place. Climbing to the top of the island, you will have the opportunity to admire the vast bay, where hundreds of rocky islands stretch out to the horizon. At your feet is a crescent-shaped white sand beach, where visitors can swim, relax and enjoy the rare tranquility in the vast nature. And if you are an explorer, kayaking through crevices and caves will be an experience not to be missed. Each time the paddle gently glides across the water, the quiet space seems to settle down. You will feel like you are entering a mysterious world, where there is only you and nature, conversing in silence and feeling. Ha Long Bay is not only a famous scenic spot, but also a place containing cultural, historical and emotional values. It is a place to rest, to contemplate, to slow down in the midst of a busy life. Whether you are a first-time visitor or a repeat visitor, Ha Long always has a way of surprising, captivating and making you want to return. For many international visitors, Vietnam is a land of contrasts, from vibrant cities to peaceful countryside, from ancient temples to modern skylines. Yet hidden in the northeast of the country is a place that seems to exist outside the boundaries of time and space. Ha Long Bay, a World Heritage Site and one of the most spectacular destinations on Earth. From the moment you set eyes on the bay, the landscape is almost otherworldly. Thousands of majestic karst limestone blocks rise from the emerald green waters, scattered like giant sculptures carved by the hands of nature itself. The calm sea reflects the sky so perfectly that the boundary between earth and heaven often disappears. It is no surprise that many visitors compare their first sight of Ha Long Bay to stepping into a dream. In the midst of the vast sea and sky, they find a rare tranquility amidst the pace of modern life. In each crashing wave, each towering rock and the gentle smiles of the local people, they feel the majestic yet familiar beauty of Vietnam. If nature is the wonderful gift that nature has bestowed upon Ha Long, then the people here are the silent but attractive souls, contributing to the identity, depth and sustainable vitality of this land. For many visitors, the beauty of Ha Long lies not only in the majestic limestone mountains or the sea sparkling in the golden sunlight, but also in the gentle smiles, warm eyes and sincere hospitality of the local people. From the first steps in Ha Long, visitors can feel the natural friendliness of the people here. No need for fancy introductions. The rustic, simple behavior, from the small saleswoman, the electric car driver, to the boatman, tour guides, says it all. Ha Long people have a simple, but very sincere way of welcoming visitors. They not only serve, but also care. Not only are they warm, but they are also willing to listen and share, as if you were a relative who has just returned from afar. In fishing villages like Cua Van or Vung Vieng, international visitors often show interest in rowing boats with the locals, chatting through smiles and body language. Despite the differences in language and culture, the distance seems to be erased by the closeness and sincerity. The locals here not only introduce traditional fishing or fish sauce making, but also tell stories about stormy days, about the sea and sky of their homeland with proud eyes and an inspiring voice. Those stories, to visitors from afar, are not only information, but also real, touching slices of life. A tourist once shared, "I was overwhelmed by the beauty of the bay. But it was a cup of hot tea that the boatwoman offered me in the chilly morning that made me remember forever." The hospitality of Ha Long people does not come from elaborate rituals, but from the heart, from the naturalness like the sunshine and wind of the sea. Not ostentatious but spreading. In resorts, restaurants or tourist attractions, the professionalism in service of Ha Long people is always accompanied by closeness and warmth. Many visitors feel like they are at home, rather than on vacation. It is that familiar feeling that makes them willing to come back. Not just once but many times. The hospitality of Ha Long people is also demonstrated through their efforts to preserve the environment, protect indigenous cultural values and the desire to introduce the beauty of their homeland to international friends. They are not only tourism workers, but also wordless, cultural ambassadors, helping to spread the image of a friendly, hospitable and proud Vietnam. And so, among the myriad of beautiful scenes, what remains deeply in the hearts of visitors after a journey to the bay is not only the majestic scenery, but also the love, the simple yet profound human love. Like a gentle background music resounding among the great symphony of Ha Long's land and sky. When mentioning Ha Long, people often immediately think of the majestic scenery of the Emerald Bay, the magical limestone islands and the dreamy morning mist covering the drifting boat path. But besides its captivating beauty, Ha Long also attracts tourists with another heritage, that is the unique culinary culture, imbued with the flavor of the sea and the love of the people of the Northeast. As a coastal city, Ha Long owns the most abundant and fresh seafood source in Vietnam. What is special is that the dishes here are not only delicious thanks to the fresh ingredients, but also because of the rustic and sophisticated preparation of the local people. They are not too fussy. But each dish encapsulates ingenuity, long-standing experience and respect for the products of nature. If Ha Long is a majestic love song of nature, then the cuisine here is the deep notes, bringing people closer to the soul of the land and the soul of people. Not as brilliant as the sunset on the bay, nor as splendid as the surfing yachts. Ha Long cuisine is simple and familiar but has its own charm, an attraction that comes from the love of the sea, the hard work and the respect for traditional culinary culture. There are many other fascinating places that we haven't had the chance to introduce yet. If you're planning to travel to Vietnam, this video will help you gain a glimpse of the wonders of Ha Long Bay. And if one day you set foot on this beautiful land, we'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences afterward. Moreover, if you'd like us to feature another famous destination in Vietnam, don't hesitate to let us know by leaving a comment below. We'll be sure to present it in the most detailed and engaging way, sparking endless inspiration for your upcoming adventures. Don't forget to like and follow the channel so we can continue sharing more exciting and useful content. We believe these insights will be valuable for your journey, discovering new places, soaking in breathtaking natural beauty, and making your life more joyful than you ever imagined. We know you're curious about Vietnam's rich culture and stunning destinations, so we'll keep updating content tailored to your interests. Below this video, you'll find many more topics that we believe you'll enjoy. Feel free to leave a comment to share your thoughts about Ha Long City in particular, or Vietnam as a whole. If there are other places you're eager to explore, just let us know. We'll do our best to cover them as soon as possible for your enjoyment. Thank you so much for watching this video. We wish you good health and abundant happiness. Sincerely, goodbye, and see you in our next adventure.